Houston, we have a problem.
Give me all you got!
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
Give me back my son! I didn't kill my wife! I don't care!
Frozen 3 delayed to 2027 as Disney also teases Frozen 4.
I think they should cancel both of them.
Stop it.
I did not like Frozen, and I did not like Frozen 2 especially.
I liked Frozen. So I did a triple feature when I went. So Frozen, I went and saw Anchorman 2, and then I snuck into Frozen.
What a
and then I
triple
snuck into
feature.
Catching Fire. And then I snuck into Catching Fire. This is back when we still made movies, Matt. And out of those movies, I'd say Frozen was the best. Catching Fire was the second best. And Anchorman 2 was a not good movie.
I watched my sister made me watch Frozen because she's a Disney freak, and I did not care for it. And then she made me watch Frozen 2, and I care for it even less.
Frozen 2 is really really bad.
You know, this is my problem with Frozen. She's always like, "Oh, I can't control my powers." Bitch, you built a castle. Get out of here with that shit. Can't control your powers. Be serious.
You built a giant snowman to pummel your sister out of your castle.
Just a movie full of imbeciles acting terribly and irrationally and dumb.
I'm scared of myself. I'm gonna build an ice castle. What's gonna happen? The sun's gonna come back if you're not using your powers, and it's gonna melt. You're gonna die.
She sings, "Oh, let it go," and then there's like an hour left of her not letting it go. Just
yeah, right after the song, something happens. Yeah, I thought you were over this.
Yeah, she sings that song, and I'm like, great, the movie's over in 15 minutes. And no, it continues because she hasn't let it go, even though she just sang that song about letting it go. I did not like it.
And I just wanted to punch Olaf in the stupid little fucking face of his.
I did not like it. The first time I tried to watch Frozen, I ended up turning it off 10 minutes in and watching Moana instead. Now that's a good movie. That's when I enjoyed.
That's a flick.
Yeah.
That's a fucking flick.
Yeah.
Fucking turn that off, turn Frozen off, put on Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, you know what? Dare I say Wreck-It Ralph is the best of the modern Disney animation films.
Oh, it's so good. The ending makes me cry every time.
Shame about the sequel.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, first off, Ralph breaks the internet. Ralph wrecks the internet was right there. I know you were going for the cute play on words of Kim Kardashian breaking the internet, but
yeah. If you tell me Ralph broke the internet, I'm expecting some dick.
I want to see that fucking python that fucking Ralph calls a pecker.
Oh, he would not win a pole vaulting contest. Let me tell you.
I was so upset about that movie.
Oh, the first one though, gold standard.
Gold, amazing, but
yeah,
the second one kind of ruins the first one a little bit.
I can just forget the second one exists.
He's right. You're right. The first one, like, it's a big deal if you go turbo. You better not fucking go turbo. You better not fucking go turbo.
Yeah.
Second movie, what do? Fucking Sarah Silverman goes fucking turbo. And we're supposed to be okay with it.
Just a bad time. But that first movie, what a package. What a tight package.
We're talking about Ralph's Python still, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
His pants
Wreck that pussy, Ralph, coming at you.
His pants are so large, but it's still tight down there because it's so big. Right?
The bricks he lays on aren't the only bricks he has to worry about.
I mean, look at those proportions.
It obviously has to fit in his hands, right?
Yeah. Look how big his hands are.
Well, yeah, like if it's not proportionate to his hands, what are we doing?
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to Stand and Watch, the dad movie podcast, where we talk about dad movies and Wreck-It Ralph's penis.
Oh, not where I thought we were going with Wreck-It Ralph, but here we are.
Well, that's the kind of insightful film discussion you'll find on this podcast, as hosted by me, Matt Fresh.
And me, Nick Kaufman.
Yeah. Today we're talking about Barbershop, which you know because that's the title of this episode.
Barbershop. So this was a movie that I watched a little bit as a kid. Just a smidge. Like, it was one of those movies where it would be on TV and I would click it on. But then my parents wouldn't want me to watch it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not that inappropriate, I don't think.
No, I don't think there are any inappropriate. Well, today there are a few jokes that might not fly, but yeah, I don't think
There's
the most
some-
offensive thing is Eddie Murphy's character. Eddie Cedric the Entertainer's character.
I was gonna say if Eddie Murphy was in this movie, they did a great job on the makeup.
Yeah, he wasn't.
His best
He
role.
disappeared into that role.
Yeah, he was actually the white guy. Nobody knows that.
He played it really well.
He did.
I believed that he was a white guy the whole time.
I was like, "Who's that actor? I've never seen him before." Now you know.
Watching this movie, I watched it 2 times to get ready for this, and
You watched it 2 times to get ready for this podcast?
yes, I did.
Wow.
Twice. I did my homework.
I only watched it once.
You only watched it once? Well, it's just because you don't care about this podcast.
I seem to not care about it as much as you, which is surprising because this was my idea.
This was your idea.
Yeah.
We're here because of you, sir. I'm gonna need better. Next movie you got to watch 3 times.
You know what? I'll watch it 4 times.
All right, about fucking time. About fucking time you showed up, Matt.
I'll watch it 4 times in a row, even nonstop.
So what I learned watching this twice, and again, I limited access to it as a kid. This is Black Clerks.
Yes, it is. Almost.
Almost.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did really enjoy this movie though.
All right.
For the most part.
Before we really get into it, we got to give our dad-approved Letterboxd reviews, where we find Letterboxd reviews that are very dad-coded.
Do you want to go first? I went first the last 2 times.
I think you should go first this time, just because you have one that one of mine is going to piggyback off of.
Producer Matt is on a power trip here. He's just,
It's just for flow. Just for better flow.
Off show.
Just for better
Off
flow.
show, he told me. Off show, he told me he's the boss, and now he's really swinging that thing around. But yeah,
that's why they call me Naked Snake.
Hey, that's a callback to your stream earlier.
Yeah.
So I have a review here from EYOB. They gave Barbershop 3.5 stars and a heart. I believe that means they liked it as well. I don't quite get the letterbox system fully. In their review, they wrote, Breaking Bad stole the ATM plot from this movie.
That's a very dad observation.
Yeah, because I assume every dad that has ever existed has seen Breaking Bad.
Yeah, but that's what dads do. They'll see a movie and be like, they copy this from this other thing.
Yeah, exactly. Or they'll be dumb dads and think that Barbershop stole this from Breaking Bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, my review is from Raminator_79, who gave this movie 3 stars and said, "Hey, that's not how you open an ATM. Those guys clearly never watched Breaking Bad." A show that premiered years later.
Yeah, I don't know how to open an ATM either, but I think they were doing it wrong.
Yeah. I have another review here that's a little more dad-coded. This is from Colin the Dude, who gave it 3.5 stars and said, "Come for the Cedric, leave entertained."
Good old Cedric the Entertainer pun.
Yeah. And then they put here in brackets, important note, if Morgan Freeman is God, Keith David is the devil.
I saw that one. I thought about pulling that because it's very true.
Yeah.
Keith
And
David has warmed his way into my heart, so yes, that would make sense that he is the devil.
anytime he pops up in something, I'm like, hey, love that guy.
When he was one of the bad guys, in Nice Guys, I was like, hey, that's Keith David. I fucking love that man,
Yep.
even though he's bad.
The first thing I've ever seen him in, or not seen, was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
He was in that?
He was like the voice of one of the sergeants.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And I that voice stuck with me because it's a commanding voice, wonderful voice. The first time I saw him in a movie, I was like, hey, it's that guy. I know that guy.
I think he was in Community. He was I think he was in the Yahoo season of Community.
Yes, he was.
And he was a great fill-in because the cast was basically a skeleton at that point.
He was good in it. He was good.
I liked him. He was a good ad. As opposed to some other ads they had.
What other ads did they have? I can't even remember.
I think they made John Oliver a full-on character at that point.
Did they?
Which I like. I like John Oliver. I didn't like his character in that show.
I don't remember him being in more than like 2 episodes in like the first season.
I'm pretty sure he had a heavier role. I don't know if he was at the table with everybody, but they also added. Speaking of Breaking Bad, they added Mike.
They did add Mike. Was he a permanent addition though?
Yeah, he was at the table with because instead of being like classmates, they were all trying to save Greendale.
I do remember him in it. I don't remember him like as I thought he was just
He was
guest.
he was there.
Yeah, I know he was
No,
there.
he was in a good majority of that last season.
I do not remember him being in that much of it, but wow. I believe you.
Like I like him. I like him as an actor. I just don't know if Community was really the fit for him because they paired him with Britta a lot, if I remember correctly.
I remember not too long ago, I watched all the Beverly Hills Cop movies and he popped up in the first one. I was like, hey.
Really?
Yeah, he
A
had
young
hair.
man.
He had hair.
I might have to watch some Beverly Hills Cop just to see old Mike.
Big bald spot in the back, but he had hair. Nice comb over in the front. Same face.
But I digress about all this Mike stuff. Matt, do you want to make some sandwiches?
I do want to make some sandwiches. I want to make some criticism sandwiches for the movie Barbershop, which I guess we kind of already introduced, but we should do an official introduction for.
Yeah, I got the Wikipedia up if you want me to.
Oh, yeah, okay. You do it so that way they don't have to listen to me type in Barbershop
sure.
on Wikipedia. Unless they want to.
Barbershop, let's just get the AI voice from Microsoft that didn't know. Barbershop is a 2002 American comedy directed by Tim Story, screenplay by Mark Brown, Don D. Scott, and Marshall Todd. Features the titular barbershop where Ice Cube and a bunch of other barbers work, and they are under threat of being shut down. It's a good commentary on Community in third place, and kind of a love letter to parts of Chicago. Probably more of a love letter than The Bear is, actually. Yeah.
Is The Bear a love letter to anything?
I was told not to air criticism publicly, so I'm not going to about The Bear.
Okay. I like The Bear, but everybody on that show is so miserable.
If anybody asks me, I love it. I love every episode, including season 3, episode 1. Very much. Favorite episode of all time.
Listen, I genuinely do really like The Bear, but that show it makes me hate food, and it makes me hate people. And I already hate people, so that's impressive.
So now you just hate people even more.
Exactly.
And you don't eat.
And I hate food. I have to be the one to say this. All the food they make in that restaurant looks like ass. It doesn't look appetizing, and it probably costs like $100 a dish. And they barely give you anything.
I preferred it when it was a greasy spoon place, just like all the fucking beef and all the shit. And like
they pack those sandwiches.
Like I know people can leave it or love it, but like Man, it reminded me of like going to Portillo's in Chicago and just like getting a piece of chocolate cake and a fucking thing of pasta or a fucking hot dog or a fucking hamburger.
It is
And
It is my opinion that the best food you're ever going to eat is going to come from a restaurant that's in a random plaza, is owned by like an old European couple. The food is covered in grease, and they serve all day breakfast.
God damn, you're making me hungry.
That's the best food you're ever going to. No 5-star restaurant is ever going to have food better than a restaurant like that.
Yeah, why do you need a Michelin star?
Yeah.
Why do you need it?
Just have
Why
a
do you need
nice, profitable sandwich shop that everybody in the neighborhood loves. He's fucking giving people. He's giving people expensive, fine dining cuisine with like three peas on the plate. He's like meticulously placing like 3 peas on the. It's all got to be perfect. Get the fuck out of here. Just give me a cheeseburger, bro.
I hope the next season. Okay, now you're just referencing the menu. Okay, you're backdooring your way into being Anya Taylor-Joy.
Listen, I'm not. You know what? That's a joke I'm not going to make publicly.
I just want a cheeseburger.
Listen. Carmy on the bear, guaranteed. He's gonna end up like Rafe. Is it Ralph or Rafe?
Who are you, Ralph? Or I don't know who Ralph is. Who's this Ralph?
In the menu, the guy, Voldemort.
That sounds right. Yeah, Vings, Ralph Ving,
Fiennes.
Ralph. Yeah, Ray Fiennes. There it is.
It's spelt Ralph, but I've heard people say Rafe. Weird.
There's someone screaming at us. There's someone screaming at us in their car. Like, it's Rafe.
Some celebrities are weird. There's another person screaming at us. Talk about Barbershop.
What the fuck is this podcast?
Fuck you. 1 star.
You know what? I kind of want to be part of a show that tells everyone to just give us 1 star. Is this the show?
Everybody's demanding you give them 5 stars. Go ahead. Give us 1 star.
I want my Michelin star in podcasting, god damn it. Give me a star. Just 1. If you give me more, I'm gonna know you're fucking fake. You don't have 5-star money in your fucking Toyota. Give me 1 star.
Hey, let's not bring Toyota into this. They make fine cars that last a long time, but the seat belts, for some reason, one of them always gets stuck.
Matt, say something nice about Barbershop.
Okay. I like all of these characters very much, and I want to hang out with them in a barbershop.
It is a very likable cast.
Yes.
Bunch of very likable characters, very flawed characters. Everyone wears their flaws on their fucking shoulders. I mean, I don't think there's a weak link here. I'm looking at the cast list. I mean, Ice Cube is great. Cedric, Sean Patrick Thomas plays a great pretentious college kid who just moved back to town.
Oh yeah, just correcting everybody and actually.
Well, actually,
Yeah, just a great actually guy.
Like if this movie came out in no, actually he'd be the same character. No.
Yeah, Ice Cube's a great straight man.
Leonard Earl Housie plays a great what is he's also a barber. He just feels like he was like very new to the barbershop. I may have looked away both times while watching this when his whole deal was mentioned.
Which one was he?
I believe he's the bald-headed bigger guy. He wants to date, I believe, Eve. And he's trying to hit on Eve, but Eve's got a boyfriend.
Oh, the African.
The African, yes.
Yeah.
I was dancing around it, but thank you.
Okay, just for clarification, everyone in this movie except for one guy is African American. But there's one character who is like African, full accent. It's brought up, it's mentioned. Somebody calls him something. Or mentions his accent. I think it's the boyfriend, actually.
but he plays like the cute, quiet one.
I don't
The
know if
cute
he
big guy.
Yeah, I don't know if he was a barber or if he would just, like, worked there as,
Was he
like,
the
a
guy that just combs up the hair?
yeah, like
I
a
feel like he was the guy with the broom.
yeah, I don't know if he did anything else, maybe like a repairman or something, I don't know, but he definitely worked there.
Because I never seen him cut hair.
Yeah. Even the guy who's not, like, a big character, but he pops into the shop a few times to try to, like, hawk his wares, and he's got, like, different things to sell, like, each time. I like that guy.
Yeah, the DVD guy.
Yeah, he comes in with DVDs and like get out of here. Then he comes back in with a couple of dogs, and he's like, "You want these dogs?"
I love that. He elevated from DVDs to dogs.
Yeah, like where'd he get those 2 dogs? He comes back with dogs, trying to sell them. Like,
Did he trade those DVDs for dogs?
I
then
see. I don't
Now he's
know.
trying to do that thing that guy did on Craigslist where he went from paperclip to Corvette.
I don't know, but that's a great bit. Just coming back with other things, and you're like, where did he get those? Why is he selling those now?
A man ahead of his time, though, because I feel like now in 2024 he would make a killing selling DVDs door to door
And dogs.
and dogs.
Yeah.
You can't get it on Netflix, but I got all 3 seasons of Glow on this DVD right here.
You can't get this on Apple. You can't get this from Apple, but I got a Blu-ray of Killers of the Flower Moon. It's not
Wait,
even on.
Killers of the Flower Moon doesn't have a Blu-ray?
No.
That seems like something that they overlooked.
Yeah, you got to subscribe to Apple Plus.
Like, do they not know that cinephiles exist? Do they not know there are people who are like, I need the 4K of this movie that it doesn't matter how good it looks. I
don't know.
Oh,
They're dumb. I don't even think they're doing theatrical releases anymore. They're doing the Netflix thing of we'll do it for a week.
yeah, they just killed that Wolf movie for it. Yeah,
I'm so mad
that new
about
comedy.
that.
That was fun.
It looks like a good movie. I want to see that. And I've seen that every movie I've seen like the past month, they play that trailer and in very big letters, only in theaters. I was like, hell yeah. Now it's only in theaters for a week. Fuck you, Apple.
Fucking Apple. You have enough money that you can eat the loss, Apple.
Yeah.
You mentioned all the great characters, all the great casts. I want to go a little deeper and say that this might be my favorite Cedric the Entertainer role. Just Eddie is just like this old asshole that will say anything that comes to mind, and everyone just puts up with his shit. But he's the guy you go to when like you're in a pickle and
Yeah.
you're like, Eddie, I don't know, man. Like Ice Cube approaches him at one point.
The crazy
And,
yet
yeah.
wise old man.
Yeah, I like Eddie. Very, very quotable character. There's the line in the movie, "Fuck Jesse Jackson." Jesse Jackson did not like that line.
Did he not? Really?
He did not.
Let's
People
see.
thought he was mad about the Rosa Parks line, but he was just mad that, Eddie called him out by name.
I like Eddie. Eddie, I don't remember the exact quote, but he said that Martin Luther King was a hoe. So on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, you got to get some action or something.
I do like that. I like that bit. Because that's not the first time I've heard that joke about Martin Luther King. But I think Eddie just fucking takes it and runs with it.
I feel like Eddie brings a gravitas to that joke. Like he was there, he witnessed the hoe-ness. He knows.
He was with MLK.
He was there for it
when they met up with the hoes.
Yeah, he knows firsthand he was a hoe.
Now I watched the first 20 minutes of the sequel, by the way, Barbershop 2, and it does a little bit of an Eddie origin story.
Oh, really?
You haven't seen the sequel, have you?
I have not.
Well, neither have I. I've only seen 15 minutes of it. But Eddie, it's like the 70s. It's 4th of July. Eddie is running from the cops. He runs into the barber shop, and I assume a character that is Calvin's dad, like tells him to take a seat, and they're like pretending to cut his hair. And what has happened is Eddie stole some barbecue so that he could go home and cook. And there's this whole scene, and it's kind of sad because Eddie, he just is like, hey man, I just want to go home and cook. Like I'm broke as hell. I just want to go home and cook. And so he comes in, they sit him down, and then as the cops come in looking for him, it cuts to black and white. And it's like this, it's really like it catches you off guard if you're not paying attention. You're like, wait, wasn't this just in color? And then it cuts to black and white, like it's like an old-timey thing. And then Calvin's dad starts cutting his hair, and Eddie's like, pretend to cut my hair, pretend to cut my hair, because he has this big hair. When we see him in the original and then in present day in the sequel.
Great hair.
But he, instead of pretending to cut his hair, he actually cuts his hair, and Eddie starts crying a little bit. And it was just this fun little origin story that, again, I haven't seen the full sequel, so maybe there's more to it. But they didn't have to do it, but it felt like a good way to, like, give us a little more about that character. And it made me appreciate Eddie and the original a little more. Because, I mean, it goes back to the point that Calvin says, or Eddie and a bunch of other characters talk about it, that Calvin's dad would, like, it was basically a co-assignment barbershop where they gave you the chair and you take home what you get, and I guess you pay a certain amount to Calvin or Calvin's dad, whoever at the time. And you basically let anybody in and you give them a chance. And it was nice to see that was basically how Eddie came onto the scene.
Is Calvin's dad played also by Ice Cube?
No, but that would have been hilarious if that's something they tried to do.
I like when movies do that, where they're like, let's flash back to your ancestor, and it's just them in like a wig.
Yeah,
like an old-timey wig.
Or when they try to severely age down a middle-aged man, like in Dexter, they're just like, let's tussle his hair.
The Saw guy,
paint some pimples on him.
Just backwards cap.
Backwards.
Just a 65-year-old man in a backwards cap. Yeah, well, he's 30 now.
Hello, I am John Jigsaw. My wife is pregnant. I am a soon-to-be father. I hope I don't get this messed up. They spent all the money on gore, and then they're like, damn, we have to de-age Tobin Bell. What do we
don't have the makeup budget. What do we do? Flip his hat back.
And there's a producer in that meeting, and he snapped his fingers, and he's like, you son of a bitch, you just saved us millions.
Oh, it reminds me of that. I don't know if it reminds me of that Friends episode when Joe is like auditioning for like a 17-year-old, and he just puts on like baggy clothes and like a basketball jersey. He's like, yo, sup with the whack. Like that's what they did.
I'd love it if, like, on set, Tobin Bell walked in with the hat backwards, and like they were getting ready to shoot, and they're like, all right, where's Tobin? Guys, where's Tobin? He takes the hat off. He's like, I'm right here. Oh shit, it's Tobin. I didn't see you, man.
Oh, you looked so much younger.
All right, so now we got to say something bad about the movie. I'll start.
I think we both have the same bad thing to say.
Yeah, so let me start out by saying I'm not racist, but there are some bad parts of this movie.
I love what anything that starts with the phrase "I am not racist" just is going to be great.
Look, I'm not racist, but the ATM part of this movie does not belong in this movie.
No, it's not good.
It feels like it was something shot for another movie, and these movies were like shooting like in neighboring studios, and then the directors were on golf carts on the lots, and they ran into each other, and then like their films got mixed up, kind of like peanut butter cups.
It does not fit in neatly anywhere. It's jarring every time they cut to it. I don't know why it's here.
It's a waste of Anthony Anderson.
It is a waste of Anthony Anderson. He could have been just like a customer of the barbershop. He could have worked there. He could have done anything else.
When I get that you want to have your comic relief, because the rest of it, I mean, about Community and like, losing that third place, it's serious. Like, it's super serious.
Yeah, but like it's a comedy anyway, right? Like,
you have your comedy. Like, Eddie is funny.
That's a fun cast of characters.
The back and forth between Jimmy and Ricky. You have who is that? Is that Terry? Terry that comes out and complains about someone drinking her apple juice.
Yeah, I cared more about her. I cared more about the mystery of her apple juice than I cared about this ATM plot line.
And I mean, to make matters worse, they completely take the air out of it by saying halfway through the movie that the ATM is empty. So then every time we cut back to the ATM, I'm like, okay, why are we still following these idiots? It's not ramping up at all. Like, it just felt out of place.
Yeah. Like, most of this movie is black clerks. And
Yeah.
that's great. That's a great movie, right? Just chilling in this barbershop with these people, where customers come in and, they do their barbershop things and they shoot their shits and they, Eddie goes off on his little tangents and, what's his name? Jimmy?
Jimmy, the college
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is well actually in everybody. And, there's a great bit where the one white guy who works there is like, yeah, I'm a great barber. And just because he's white, he's like, nobody wants him to cut their hair. And then it cuts to this ATM bullshit. And you're like, sure, Anthony Anderson is funny, but like, I don't care about this.
Well, and you could have easily still had the ATM stuff. I know that you needed it for everything to play out at the end with Lester's character and the loan sharking and everything. But this could have been something in the background where like fucking Eddie walks in and they're talking about the news they heard of the day where it's like, oh, the fucking, do you hear about the ATM got stole from the shop down the store? Because they're already talking about the store. They're talking about the fact that the owner is Pakistani, and Eddie cracks like, well, what's he packing and standing for? Like,
yeah,
they're talking about stuff, and that's the point of the film is like community and talking about what's going on in your neighborhood and everything.
Yeah.
And so they kind of touch on it. So the fact that we're having to get away from the barbershop and look at what's going on with the ATM, I don't give a shit. It's kind of like what we talked about last time with ungentlemanly warfare. I want the gentlemen on the boats and doing the mission stuff. I don't want the people being super secret spies undercover.
Yeah, I want the barbershop. Just have like people come in and talk about it. Like have the cop come in and ask questions. Have Anthony Anderson come in like all nervous and high strung and whatever. I don't need to see him trying to get it up the steps of his little apartment. I don't need to see them trying to open it. Like I don't care.
I don't need the repeated bit of them going up the stairs and a big guy's coming down the stairs.
Yeah.
Or them going down the stairs and the same big guy's coming up the stairs. It's like, no, like
I don't need to
feel like
see
you're just padding out. You're padding out this runtime. Stop it.
I don't need to see them trying to get it into a motel and then he runs after a guy who owes him $5. I don't care. Bring me back to Ice Cube and the barbershop and Keith David. Give me more Keith David.
Yeah, you got Keith David and you're not using him more?
You got Keith David as a sleazy loan shark dressed like a 70s pimp, looks like the fucking Godfather from WWF, and you're giving me a ATM subplot?
Yeah, I don't think Lester. While we're on the subject of Lester, I don't think he did anything wrong. Like, is being a loan shark bad? Sure, but I think he was on the up and up.
I mean, look, he was just running his business the way it's supposed to be run, Just Ice Cube sold him the place and he bought it and he didn't want to give it back. So he was like, if you want it back, pay me more.
Double. Give me double.
Yeah, that's Ice Cube's fault.
Right. And Lester's even like, are you going to get the loan from me? You're going to get the loan from a bank? Come on. Come on, Calvin. Come on. Come on, Calvin. Be smart about it. But yeah, the ATM, you don't need it. You ain't got to do it. I don't need to see Anthony Anderson's nasty foot.
Yeah, it's just a waste of time.
Otherwise, everything else,
everything
else is beautiful. Love it.
It makes it's what? It's like an hour 45, and that ATM plot makes it seem so much longer.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time it's there, you're just counting down, bring me back to the shop, bring me back to the barbershop. The one bit of like the guy who's like they're shaving him and the lady's like smashing his car up because she thinks it's someone else's car. That's funnier than the whole ATM plot line.
And that's what makes it feel like Clerks, because you don't know what's going to happen. It's a day in the life of this barbershop.
Yeah, I want more of that. I want more customers coming in and things happening with this cast of characters,
Now, if you open the movie with like Anthony Anderson and his sidekick coming in the barbershop, getting their haircut, disappearing, and then like 10 minutes later you hear about the fucking shit happening with the ATM. That's fine, but I want to stay in the barbershop. And I like the stuff that develops later on when Ricky is arrested and then Ice Cube bails him out. And Ricky, he has Ricky's gun. He gives Ricky his gun back. Ricky's talking about going and getting Anthony Anderson's character, who's his cousin, for betraying him and using his car to steal the ATM. I like all that because then it eventually leads to Ricky being like, you know what, I'm above this now, because he's one strike away from going away. And he throws his pistol in the Chicago River. Like, that stuff is interesting. I really like the stuff that it allows the rest of the movie to do. But it's like, but like I like my cousin who has I like my cousin who has a Nintendo 64. I don't want to fucking hang out with my cousin to play his Nintendo 64. I just want to play that Nintendo 64.
Yeah. And like, it's like you said, like they could have just have it be in the background, have a thing that like people are talking about, have more scenes with Ricky, because why did it feel like I got more Anthony Anderson than I got Ricky?
Because you got more Anthony Anderson than you did Ricky.
Yeah. And I shouldn't have. I should have gotten more Ricky. I don't know. I don't know why just somewhere along the process, it feels like and maybe it's not, but it feels like something that the producers was like, you got to put this in. It feels
right.
It feels like something a studio would force someone to do.
They're like, they're like, we love all the stuff in the barbershop. Can we get them out of the barbershop a little more?
Yeah, what can we get more of this? Like, it feels like someone had, like, at some test screening, somebody said, I don't know, I was confused about the ATM plot. It's not fleshed out enough. So some studio head was like, throw in more ATM stuff. We demand it.
They're like, we need more ATMs are hot right now. I don't know if you guys have seen the SEO on this new website called Google. ATMs, top notch. People Google all the time, what does ATM stand for?
Yeah, we hear this guy Vince Gilligan is writing a show called Breaking Bad. It's coming out in a few years. They're gonna have a plot line about an ATM. Throw that in. Let's get there first.
Well, and to compare Barbershop to another Ice Cube movie, Friday, it'd be like if Friday got away from the characters sitting on their stoop. Like, the whole movie is just them sitting on their stoop. And it's like somebody saw Friday and said, yes, that. But what if we got away from all the characters that you like to follow these two idiots?
It's like if there was a subplot in Clerks that took place at a Walmart with two other dudes that weren't like the clerks.
What if Jay and Silent Bob weren't outside anymore and they went and stole an ATM?
Yeah.
Because the only reason Jay and Silent Bob work are because they're right outside, like 2 steps away from the people inside being productive. And you can't see me air quoting the words productive, but another nice thing to finish this sandwich off.
Nice things.
Because we really beat the shit out of the ATM criticism here.
Yeah.
We already talked about the characters, but I just really liked how funny every character was. It didn't feel like there was like one character outshining the funny of another character. It didn't feel like there was one character that was harder to write for. It felt like everyone had their jokes. The writing really leaned into the voice of each character. And I just really liked like Ice Cube, throughout the movie, like standing outside of his barbershop, staring into it and just seeing like what he was giving up. And there's an old, I think it's a Lone Star song. It was playing in my head as he was staring in the windows. I don't know if you know this song, Matt, but it was a front porch looking in.
I think I've heard, it sounds familiar.
So I'll sing a line for you. I don't want the podcast to get demonetized because Lone Star starts taking all the money, but there's a carrot top who can barely walk with a sippy cup of milk, a little blue-eyed blonde with shoes on wrong because she likes to dress herself. The most beautiful girl holding both of them. And the view I love the most is my front porch looking in. That was playing in my head as Ice Cube was staring into his barbershop.
I think a hip hop song was playing in my head while that was happening, but
Do you have a preferred hip hop song that was playing, or is it just a generic hip hop song, copyright free?
it was something by NWA.
Okay, all right. But yeah, everyone was funny.
Yeah,
Especially
just,
Eddie. Eddie just fucking hilarious every
I
time he
think
was
it's
on there.
just it's a good vibe. It's just it's a real good vibe.
It feels like a living place.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a living place. These are people that you want to be like, I want to go to that barbershop. I want to hang out with these people. It's a great hangout movie when it's, not on the ATM parts.
Right. And I've said it numerous times already, but it's a third place movie. It's a movie about, you know, the beating heart of a third place and what it takes to, keep that thing living, and the people that are needed for a third place to thrive, and the things that go on. And, some of it's good, some of it's bad. Some of it involves an ATM.
Yeah. For some reason, because a executive probably said they had to, but it's a real nice vibe.
It almost feels like the ATM stuff was reshoots. Like they had everything shot for the movie.
Yeah, because
And
it is also like the ATM stuff is such a different vibe than everything else. Because all of everything in the barbershop is funny, but it feels grounded in something, right? Like this is a place. This is a real street. These are real customers. These are real problems. These are real people, right? This is a real guy who thinks he's above this. This is a real white guy who really acts like this and is a good barber despite what people think. This is a real woman who just wants her own fucking apple juice to be kept to herself. And then it goes to the ATM stuff and it's like a Looney Tunes bit. And not a good
and
one.
I just remembered there's a exchange, and I'm forgetting the character's name right now. Is that it's not Jimmy? The white character's name. What's his name?
Oh shit.
I just had it up. I've had the movie running in the background the whole time too.
Oh, you're
That's
real
how
on this.
that's how dedicated. Oh, it's Isaac Rosenberg.
That's Rosenberg, a Jew?
I I do not assume.
I'm
I
shocked.
do not assume.
Oh,
But there's a point in the movie where he's like, people mess with me all the time. They think I'm imitating something I saw from TV. Like, no, this is just who I am. And that resonated with me because I was at one point, I lived in North St. Louis. I was the white boy. And so when he said that, I was like, oh no, I see this man. Like I see what he's saying. I get it. Like I understand what it means when people think you are just fronting like that, when people think you were just, you know, imitating something you heard in a hip hop song or a TV show. It's like, no, this is just who I am. This is just who I am. I've lived here all my life. Thanks,
yeah.
guys. There's another thing I wanted to bring up. Oh, I love a good winter Chicago movie. I love it when everyone's outside and you can see their
Yes.
fucking breath in the air. I'm like, and everyone's wearing coats. There's people are going inside putting coats. Like that's what helps. It's little details like that that make it feel alive because
Yeah. I love a good
it
just anywhere. I'll take winter anywhere, but give me
fucking Chicago. The snow's piled up everywhere.
big
People are
puffy
fucking
coats.
freezing.
Give me big puffy coats. Give me the breath. Give me all the streets are just a little bit damp.
Don't give me any ATM stuff. I know
Yeah.
I'm putting a lot of bread on this sandwich. Matt, did you have another piece of bread to put on this sandwich? A positive piece of bread?
Yeah, no, I think we really said it all. It's just good vibes. It's just a vibing movie. I think that's the word. If I had to condense this movie, it'd be vibes. Just good vibes.
It's just a good barbershop. I'd go get my haircut at this barbershop
I'd go get my haircut at this barbershop if I was allowed.
if you were allowed.
If I had my barbershop card, if somebody gave it to me, I'd go there, Why
Are there
not?
barbershop cards? Is
I
it
don't
like a
know.
library card?
I,
They check your card at the door.
yeah.
It's like, okay, he can come in. Come
Like,
on.
hey,
Come on in, Matt.
Yeah.
Come on in. Go over to Rosenberg.
I'd want to go to Rosenberg. He's apparently a great barber. He gets his own little. He's the only barber that gets his own little showcase scene. Although,
So I know we were talking about his haircuts earlier, but so they do set him up as being a bad hair cutter, but he's also cutting some kid's head, and kids are the worst to cut their hair.
no, Jimmy was cutting the kid's head, wasn't he?
Was it Jimmy?
Jimmy was cutting the kid's head.
Oh, well, never mind then.
Yeah,
Never
Jimmy
mind.
was cutting the kid's head, which was a good bit. Where he got distracted by, I believe it was Eddie, and he
Got
shaved
distracted by Eddie, and then the young mom, Cassandra Lewis, who is credited as young mom, comes in, and she's like just a bombshell, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, everyone in the barbershop, their jaw is on the floor as she walks in.
Yeah, but yeah, so he accidentally shaves like a little bald patch into this kid's hair, and I felt bad for this kid because like he's got to live with that now till it grows back. Kids are brutal.
But it's winter; he can just wear a hat.
That's true.
He can just put his hat on; he'll be fine. Well, and I think it speaks to that Jimmy is not long for this barbering world. Like he's off to go be a businessman eventually.
Yeah, he thinks it's beneath him, and clearly,
Whereas Isaac feels like this is his calling.
yeah,
But he's a white guy in a black barbershop, and I'm no expert, but I can barely cut my hair, so
I can
I
barely,
don't think I can cut
I
any
can,
hair, honestly.
I can barely trim my beard evenly. So
Well, if you need help, I'll help you out.
okay, you gonna fly out here?
Yeah. I'll hop a red eye. Be there in the morning.
Excellent. But
It's
yeah,
a good movie.
It's
Just fast
yeah,
forward through the ATM stuff.
yeah, good vibes all around.
Dad movie ratings now, right?
Yes.
You know what? I think I would do the same thing I
wait.
did for.
We got to give our regular movie ratings.
Okay.
I give this
what-
3.5 out of 5.
I'm gonna give it 4. Just because
Yeah?
I think the ATM stuff is the only stuff that keeps it from being a perfect movie.
All right. Yeah, the ATM stuff, I'd give it a 4 if it wasn't for the ATM stuff, but that ATM stuff was such a drag.
The barbershop stuff is so good, and what I've seen from the second one, I think the filmmakers learned that, like, oh hey, we don't need this goofy ass ATM shit. We don't need a distraction from the fucking meat and potatoes of the story.
All right, so dad movie ratings now. We rate this how much of a dad movie it is. This is it's definitely a dad movie, I would say.
If I'm doing the
dad's-
percentage like I did last time,
Yeah, because dads love a good hangout movie.
dads love a good hangout movie. Dads love feeling like they're in the spot with the people who are there.
Yeah,
I just think the dads will be rubbed by the ATM portion, because most dads don't put up with crime. They're not big
that's
on
true.
crime.
That's true. Dads don't put
They're
up
like,
with
if those young men wanted the money, they should have gone and got a job, and then got a bank account, and then withdrew the money from the ATM.
I think though there is a portion of dads that wouldn't dislike the ATM stuff just because of the Looney Tunes nature of it. Dads love a good Looney Tune.
Yeah, dads are big proponents, are big fans of the slapstick.
Yeah,
that
dads
early
love
Anthony Anderson brings.
dads love a good shenanigan. So I don't know if they would hate the ATM stuff like we did.
You're selling me on dads liking the ATM part.
I think they would. I really think they would. I don't think all dads would. I think some dads wouldn't put up with the tomfoolery of it. But
Do you
other
think the dads? Do you think the dads? We lose the dads a little bit on someone drinking a clearly labeled apple juice in a work fridge.
I don't think we lose them on it. I think we get them on her side. Like they're into it. They're like, yes, who drank her juice?
Who drank her juice? But
How
also,
dare
like,
they?
do we live in a society? Stop drinking someone else's juice.
Yeah, I think that gets them like locked in. Like who drank her juice? Why would they do this?
Trying to think, is there anything else? Oh, and the dads are also going to be into the loan talk. They're going to be like, Calvin's taking a really bad loan here. I don't think he's going to be able to pay this back.
Yeah, they love a good loan talk. They're gonna love Eddie.
They're going to love Eddie because he's the barber they can talk politics with.
He's the crazy, wise old man.
They're not going to like Jimmy.
They're not gonna like Jimmy, but they're gonna like that other people are annoyed by Jimmy.
They'll like Dinka. Ricky will grow on him.
Ricky will grow on them.
But I don't know about Ricky. He's got the 2 strikes. Again, I'm against crime. But then they'll see that Ricky's trying to clean up his life. So that, you know what? I like Ricky.
I think I'm gonna give this a dad rating of 75%.
So I'm going to elaborate a little longer. I think the young mom will also.
Oh yeah.
The dads will like Cassandra Lewis as young mom. She really
Oh.
sells that part.
They'll like young mom. You know what? I also forgot about? They will like Ricky's what is it? What he does? It's big ass woman.
Oh, yeah, a big ass, a woman with a big ass versus a big ass woman.
Yes, they'll like that. So you know what? I'm bumping this up. This is 80% dad certified, I think.
I'm trying to see if there's anything. Well, Dion Cole's in this movie, and dads do like Dion Cole. I didn't realize he was in this movie, honestly. I'm gonna wait a minute. Andre Brower's in this movie. Rest in peace. I'm gonna have to go back and see if I can find him in here. Wow, I did not know he was in this movie. What'd you say? You're giving it an 80?
I'm giving it 80%, I think.
I know. I'm gonna go a level above, and I'm gonna give it an 81%.
Interesting.
It's not a contest.
Just why the extra 1%?
I don't know. I think I was at 80, and then I saw that Andre Brower was in this movie, and I thought
I don't remember him in this movie.
I'm gonna go back and find him. So this was 20 years ago. When did Brooklyn Nine-Nine premiere? 2015.
You sure he wasn't in the sequel? Maybe he was in the sequel.
No. I'm looking at the casting list for a Barbershop, sir. I'm gonna have to look this up. I'm gonna have to find him. He might have just been someone getting his hair cut.
I don't remember him in this at all.
It had to be a small aside or something. Because honestly, I don't remember Dion Cole in there either. But now that I know they're in there, I'm gonna look for them.
Where did you see him on this cast list? IMDb?
I'm on Google.
Are you sure Google didn't just erroneously list him on the cast because the director of this movie also directed Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, in which he is in?
Sir, are you insinuating that Google would mislead me?
In fact, misleading people is one of the top things Google does these days.
Their slogan is "Do no evil," or at least it was at one point.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I believe that. I don't know if it's true, but I believe it.
Okay, so I'm on the IMDb. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but the internet is a motherfucker. It will lie to you.
We're solving a mystery here, folks.
Let's see. He would have a picture. So I'm looking for him.
Because this would have been after Homicide: Life on the Streets.
Take me to the man's IMDb. Let's see. Is he credited?
I don't see anything here about him being in Barbershop.
So I don't understand how IMDb doesn't put everything in the right order. Okay, so maybe Google just fucking lied to me.
I think Google lied to you.
That's fucking great. The fucking machine uprising has started.
God damn it.
Yeah, no. Okay, Brooklyn Nine-Nine was 2013 to 2021. Holy shit. God damn. Okay, I'll just do 80 then, since Google fucking lied to me and embarrassed me on my own podcast.
All right. 80% dad certified. Barbershop.
We did it.
We did it. Well, before we go, it's time to exchange dad jokes.
You can go first this time, Matt.
I will go first. How does the barber cut the moon's hair?
How does the barber cut? Is this wait, do I have to say how does he?
Yes.
How does he?
Eclipse it.
Oh no, I hate you. I hate you. I was gonna say I hate you so much. I was gonna say I hate this movie just a hair more than I like Clerks.
Oh,
I'm glad that we are in the same puns. I love it.
all right. Well,
Spin that wheel.
before we go, we have to spin the wheel to determine the movie for the next episode.
Can we get a sound clip of that where it's like spin that wheel?
You know what? There it is. That's the sound effect. You just made it.
Wait.
So what I'll do when I edit this episode, I'll put that sound effect first, and then they'll hear you. It'll be like a cool in media res thing. They'll hear the sound effect, and then they'll hear you metamorphosize it.
I do love that. I've done that before where someone said, I was like, "Yeah, well, that's it right there." Is it spinning?
I'm about to click it. Now, there's no actual sound for the wheel spinning, so I'm just going to make that sound myself. And the wheel is spinning now. Unforgiven.
Whoa, Western.
It's nothing more
I've never
dad than a
seen this one.
Western. I've never seen it either.
Do we just give this one an automatic 100% dad rating?
I mean, we could give it an automatic 100% dad rating now, but who knows what our personal ratings will be.
Hold on, let me see if this is streaming somewhere. This is all part of the rub here.
Yeah. This is good because now the listeners, you'll know if it's streaming somewhere. You don't have to Google it. We'll tell you.
It's not looking good, folks. It's $3.99 on YouTube. Usually, when that's the one that pops up, that means
Let me see.
we are out to dry.
Let me check.
$3.99. Yeah, it's just giving me the prices. It's not giving me streamers.
Let me check Just Watch. Unforgiven is available on Hollywood Suite.
The fuck is that?
It might be a Canadian thing. I don't know if you have Hollywood Suite there.
Fucking Canadians.
You don't have Hollywood Suite?
No. We have Hollywood.
Oh yeah, Hollywood Suite is Canadian. Yeah, they're like specialty movie channels of like old movies.
Wait, so wait, I just clicked watch it, and now Netflix is saying it has it. Let me see what this is. Unavailable on an ad-supported plan due to licensing restrictions. I'm gonna check when we get off of this. I'm gonna check legit Netflix and see if it pops up. Actually,
It says, Amazon Prime. Oh, that might be premium subscription. That means you need one of the extra channels.
log me into my Netflix, please.
Well, folks,
My password is...
if you're in Canada and have Hollywood Suite, you can watch it. If you're not in Canada, it looks like you might have to take up the pirate's life.
Or you could pay for it, you dirty scoundrels.
You could pay for it, or you could buy the Blu-ray. I guess it's good to own movies. You should just buy the Blu-ray.
You could do that. Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm checking Netflix proper to see if it pops up. I had some interference there on my computer. Unforgiven.
That's okay. You know what, folks? Worst case scenario, you don't watch it, and next week you hear our thoughts on it, and then you take our thoughts as your own. So whenever anyone asks you about Unforgiven, you just say what we said and pretend that it's your own opinion.
Okay, I found a better Western on here that we can watch.
A better Western than Unforgiven?
A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Oh, God.
No, but I did find another movie I want to add to the wheel.
What?
Fury.
Oh, that's a good one. I think.
I've never seen it.
Neither have I. That's actually
Going with
that's on my Letterboxd watch list.
Ooh, add it to the wheel.
So
add
I've
it
been
to the
meaning to watch
wheel. Along with everything that the Twitter folks recommended. Thank you, people.
Should
Thank
I
you.
should I add those all to the wheel now, or should I wait until we're done with this? Should I wait until we're closer to finish with this wheel? And then
Let's
start adding
clear
things?
let's clear out a few guys. Let's clear out a few guys.
There's still
and
14
then-
things on this wheel.
It's a big wheel. It's a pretty big wheel.
Maybe when we get down to like, I don't know, 8, I'll
What if we
refill it.
finished? What if we finished the wheel and then all these movies that we're talking about and the ones that the folks added? What if we released a sequel wheel and we called it the sequel wheel? But then people would think it's all sequels. But still, I like that. I like confusing the listeners.
Yeah, let's just we'll clear this wheel, maybe take a little vacay, then make a new wheel. I like that.
We'll call it Son of Wheel.
Yeah, Son of the Wheel.
I like it.
Son of the Wheel of the Mask.
So I would end by saying go watch Barbershop, but then I would also ask Matt where people on the internet can find him if they want to stalk him.
If you want to stalk me, your best bet is follow me on Twitter at RealMFresh or following me on Twitch at RealMFresh. But if you follow me on Twitch, you should also be a viewer because I need those more than I need followers. But your actual best bet to follow me is to hop on a plane, come to Canada, go on over to hop in a taxi or an Uber or rent a car, drive a little bit north, and come to the address apartment.
Did you really just dox yourself on the show?
I guess we'll find out. No, I'm going to bleep it. That's also not my real address.
I was going to say, wow, he's really like going down to the numbers. I'm not going to dox myself, but I will say that you can find me on Twitter at that Kaufman. You can also find me on Twitch and YouTube at Nick Fat Night. Or, if you want to read some of my pieces over on Hard Drive Magazine, go ahead and do that.
Oh, yeah, read my pieces on Hard Drive also.
But read mine first.
Yeah, his need the views. Mine are pretty successful.
God damn, that's ruthless. It's fucking ruthless.
Hey, you walked into that one.
Ruthless. This man is mean. But yeah, that's where you can stalk me, and you're not getting my address. Or a fake one, for that matter. Oh, there's another Western on here that's probably better than Unforgiven.
Oh, yeah, what is it?
The Hateful Eight. Yeah, I'm indifferent about it. It's okay.
I like the second half. I like Walton Goggins.
Goggins is great in everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know the first time we did this, we had a Twister's specific ending. I don't remember how we ended this last time. Is there a Barbershop specific sign off we can use?
Go get a haircut, you fool.
Fuck Jesse Jackson.